Okay, this first video I'm going to make some etouffee today. So I'm going to get started. These are all the ingredients. I already got them cut up and set up, and I'm going to go ahead and start cooking, and as I go I'll film some more. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is start getting my pans warmed up. This one I'm going to start cooking off my sausage, then I'll blacken my chicken, then I'll do my shrimp all in the same so I can keep all the flavors going on. My other pot, I'm just getting my butter going so I can start my roux. That's the thing that's going to take the longest because you got to get it a dark, rich brown. And I'll take some pictures of it as it goes, okay? Okay, so far I did my 2 sticks of butter and I added a 1.25 cups of flour. I got to turn it down and cook it really slow and just kind of constantly keep stirring it. It is going to turn to almost the color of peanut butter. That's where you want it to get that nice brown coloring on there. I've already cooked off my sausage, my andouille sausage, the spicy Cajun sausage, and I am starting to blacken my chicken. Now, you can do this with a cast iron skillet, but basically all I did, I cut up my chicken and added a homemade blackening seasoning that I made myself. Got paprika, cayenne, salt, pepper, garlic, a couple other things, I can't remember everything. But you just basically wanted to get a nice dark crust on it. Let it set a little bit. Like I said, you can use cast iron and it'll get really good, but I didn't want to smoke the whole house up, so I'm just going to kind of watch this and get a good crust. And then after that, the leftover spice and seasoning with that, I'll go and add my shrimp to that too. Alright. Okay, now that my chicken's done, I'm going to take this skillet and put it back on the heat, and I'm going to deglaze it with a little bit of beer because I don't want to actually cook my shrimp all the way. I want to kind of steam them and get all those bits from the chicken and the seasoning off the bottom too. Let that cook down a little bit. And the roux is not really changing yet, so I might have to turn the heat up on that. So, give that a stir. It's starting to turn a little bit. Turn that up a bit. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab my shrimp, and I'm not even going to season them. Like I said, all the seasoning that's left over from the chicken. Just going to kind of get in there, and when they start to turn a little pink, like like when you boil shrimp either way, I'm going to go ahead and take that off there. Alright. Okay, now there's the consistency and color of your roux that you want. The trick is with the roux, to get it to this color, is to watch it constantly and stir it. Because if it burns, you have to start all over. So what I'm going to do now, the roux is good and thick. I'll get all my veggies together here. My green peppers, red peppers, celery, onions, and garlic, and add that right into the pot. Oops. Everybody back in the pool. And I'm going to give that, where's my spoon at? I'll go ahead and give that a stir and get those all incorporated into the roux. Once that's in there and starts cooking down a bit, I turn my fire down low here. I get that all good in there. The onions broke up a bit. I'll start adding my liquid to it. Let that cook for a little bit. Okay, now I got that all incorporated in there and everything's stirred up. I actually added 4 or 5 bay leaves, and then what you want to do to start turn this into the stew-like, get a good can or bottle of dark beer. Whatever, I just bought Murphy's, and add that slowly in there. You don't need the whole can, about half maybe, just to start getting it. And give that a little stir. really hard to hold this camera and stir at the same time. And once I get that in there a little bit, I just basically want the flavor of the dark beer. And then I will add some beef broth. Now with this, you can add vegetable broth, chicken, seafood, whatever you want. I just like the beef because I like to keep the dark color to it. And I'm going to add 1 quart into this right now, and I've got a second one on reserve, which I'm going to add as I go. As it thickens up, I'm going to add it though, because I don't want to add too much. Alright. I'll stir that in there. I'm going to bring my heat up a bit to get this start going. But you can already see, just in that little bit. Thing too is, when you put your veggies in there, you don't want them to get soft, because like I said, it's a stew, so you don't want them to be totally mushy, and you want them to keep their color. So as this cooks, they'll keep their bright color, and they won't turn to complete mush. Alright, let that cook for a little bit. Okay, now that my stock is to the right consistency, I want to add about 2/3 of another quart. I knew it was going to thicken up pretty much. I'm going to go ahead and add my sausage, my chicken, and my shrimp back into the pot now. And as far as seasoning this goes, I put a little bit of salt and pepper in the roux when it was done. And but between the blackened seasoning of the chicken and the spices that are in the andouille sausage, there's only one other thing I'm really going to add to this. I'll put my shrimp in there too so they can finish up, and it's still got some of that sauce from the beer. Okay. Stir that all in there. Oh yeah. It's coming together good now. The last thing I'm going to add is a little Crystal hot sauce. And Crystal, I just like the flavor of this for stews and soups and stuff. And you can put as much as you want in here. Like I said, I don't want it crazy hot because I'm going to take it to some of my friends, and there's only a couple of them that like super hot stuff. But when you put it on your plate, you can add whatever you want to it. And I'm just going to let this and put this on simmer for about another 5-10 minutes, and then I will be able to serve it up and eat. Take that out of there. And then all I did with my rice, I cheated today. I just used instant rice. I just did 4 cups water, 4 cups of rice, and a little bit of red and green pepper just for some color, and that'll be the side with it to serve on top. Alright. And so everything's done, just gotta wait for it to finish. Okay, now that's your finished dish. You put the etouffee on there, and a little bit of rice, and then the leftover beer you can drink, and if you don't want it, or you want it more hot, you can put some Crystal hot sauce. And that's my recipe for etouffee. I will be posting it soon. And now that Jack's here, we can eat. Yay!